What's up, what's up? Welcome to another video. I'm just going to keep doing this every day if I can. I'm going to do a lot of working out, a lot of conditioning, a lot of little methods that you can watch. I'm just going to keep continuing to spit out the truth and all that. Right now, today, well, I got up at 6 this morning, 6:02 actually to be exact, and I wanted to go back to sleep, right? But my puppy was up, and I'm kind of like, leave me alone, give me a second. I was fucking around with my phone, and I was doing some things. I actually got a new phone, just to let you know. There might be some people that were hitting me up on my last phone. Some of you, I just didn't want to talk to no more, you know what I mean? But, not to be mad or anything about anybody. I've had a lot of hard times, like I said. A lot of things that shot my way that were really like a lot of bad stuff that some people are either willing to understand or some people just, they're like, oh, well, you're crazy, right? But like I said before in my other videos, y'all crazy. This whole fucking world's crazy, you know what I mean? So to me, there's no such thing as crazy. Like, I mean, there's limits to how you phrase it, like, oh, you crazy, you know, shit like that. That's, you know what I'm saying, you get my drift. Anyways, so I got up this morning, 6:02, I couldn't go back to sleep, was feeling kind of bad, started just motivating myself, did some meditation, and then decided to get up real quick, and then I was like, fuck it. So I'm trying to remember, I have like a bad memory right now. I've been trying to like clean out a lot of dirt out of my head, you know, from all the drinking I was doing a while back. I'm not gonna lie, I was doing a lot of drinking. I was falling off and shit. I went through like some tough turmoil, trying to figure out my own thing. I'm getting, actually, like I said, I'm already getting stuff on track. I got a lot of good things coming my way next week. So I'm just trying to keep motivated and just keep pushing through it. And then eventually, I'll make another video when I actually make it, and then I'll tell you like how hard it really was, what was happening, and that way it gives you some inspiration to be like, no matter how fucking hard it is, you just don't give up and you just keep going, and you know, God will send you something good on his way, you know. But anyways, so I went and I did like a 4-mile run, and I usually would always have a running app, but my last phone had that. This phone, I didn't really upgrade anything on it too much. I did the little Facebook thing, even though I didn't really want to. I did the messenger thing. But when I really started to come into some stuff and I started thinking about it, I was like, you know what, these things can be motivating, right? Instead of looking at it negatively, I can just throw my shit up there and see if there's like support there, or if I can draw people in for any kind of positivity. Because I came to a point in my life where I just wanted a lot of positivity and a lot of more peace and a lot more humbleness. Compassion. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of fucking times I was pissed off, man, and I'm an open book. Like, you know, if you really know me, I cuss a lot, so I do apologize about that, but that's just my ghetto shit from back home. But when it comes to work and stuff like that, I can be very professional. I know how to speak properly, you know. Like I said, there's been hard times. When I'm in my hard times, who's ever heard from me before being a little whacked out or whatever, you know, like on the drink or something like that, I do apologize about that. Because honestly, that's not even me. You know what I mean? I have a real other good side, you know what I'm saying? And this is the real me right here. That other shit is just a fall away me. This is the upgrade of me. And so anyways, let's get to it. That's just my shit. This is my puppy's little tire, right? And it has this little string on it. She likes to tug on this or pull on that, if you guys seen my other videos. But honestly, it actually works pretty damn well as a holder. So I'll show you right now. I could stick it in this tire and move it on any angle. You see that? So it actually comes in handy. It holds my phone and it echoes down into the speaker. So it's pretty fucking cool. So when I take it away, I'm like, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm gonna have to borrow this. And she's like, she loves that tire that I bought her, you know? So I do have one of these. At first when I looked at this, I was like, what the fuck is this? It's at Family Dollar. It's a phone holder. You know, you put it right here and then you set it right there and then you can watch your phone. I'm sure people have these, you know. But when I try to use it before, like to set my phone upwards to face the bit, it don't fucking work. So I gotta find other methods. Sometimes I stick this shit in a shoe, but the tire thing, It's like the best thing I've came across. But anyways, I wanted to show you guys. I have other videos, but since I'm actually speaking more out now, and like I'm just gonna start pushing my videos out. I don't care whether people like it or they don't. I'm just gonna keep doing it. So like for one small little method, because usually I pick up, because I was a big time smoking cigarettes and stuff back in the day, you know, and drinking and stuff like that. And I've learned methods to quit the smoking, right? So one method I had learned from my stepdad, he gave me cinnamon sticks, right? And I would like put the cinnamon stick in my mouth, and believe it or not, just chewing on it and kind of going like that, it does help, you know, like, and also too, like, it hurts when you quit smoking, because you have like, I want to say like atrophy. I know that's a weird word, but it's kind of like, to me, you could feel the sharp pains because of the nicotine that's shooting through, and it's impulsing off in the stream, like, because there's airways in your lungs, like even like small little hairs where the nicotine gets into, and you're like, like, and when your stress level hits, that triggers that, right? So because it's the tobacco, like, it would be cool if we can all smoke, you know what I mean? But without the addictiveness. Like for me personally, I was more addicted to just like inhaling and exhaling, just to smoke in general. Like I like seeing it. I like the way it went in and came out. But the nicotine, I don't really care for. You know what I mean? I honestly don't. But I did the cinnamon sticks for a long time. And, you know, of course, you know, every now and then if I fell back and I drank, you know, like, of course I leaned back to the cigarettes. You know, there's been a time where it was so stupid where, like, I bought a pack of cigarettes and I only smoked a couple out of it. And then the next day where I was like, oh, what am I doing? I threw them away, like the whole pack. You know what I mean? I could have gave them to somebody, but to me, I feel wrong for doing that, you know? But anyways, you know, I don't feel guilty about anything I'm saying, because, I mean, at least for me, like, I fucking try, man. You know what I mean? I do my best to stay on the up and up, and sometimes life will hit you sideways, and you kind of go back to all you know, and that's why I was saying comfort zone. But for me personally, gum is like the number one thing for me, dude. Like, because you pull it out like a pack, you know, it's the habit. You pull it out like a cigarette, put it in your mouth. Once you start chewing on it, and you get some of the flavor, yeah, some people don't like, you know, if people are trying to stay away from the sugar, I get it, it might trigger them. But most of the time, I'll chew it, and then I'll spit. I'll chew it, and then I'll spit. So that way I'm not getting all that sugar inside, you know what I mean? And I know it's kind of gross. Ladies, I apologize, because I know you don't like men spitting. I know all the little things, you know what I mean? But, anyways, those are some of the methods to that. And I'll take my hat off right now, because I know that everybody's kind of like, nah, be real with your... Some people, not all people. But this is what I wear when I go running. So I do, you know, I sweat more. And then, like, my skull will be breathing. I get a lot of veins here. Like I said, I'm still working on the inside of my gut, because I've had issues before. But just lately, just my dieting and everything, the sugar stuff, you know, I've been trying to get off. So now I'm like redoing some things. And I was going to show you here, like, basically, I'm going to be juicing. And I'm going to show you how to juice and how I do it and what it comes out to. And usually, like I said, like, I'll stick it in my freezer, make it super cold. It's the best when it's fucking cold. I don't have any ginger for the moment, but ginger is like the best, man. I mean, me, I like it strong. You know, like if I got plenty of lemons and oranges and then a bunch of green apples, or even grapes. Grapes are fucking bomb too. You could do purple grapes with lemon and ginger, but it depends on how much ginger that you can take. You know, because ginger is very potent. It's very powerful. You can smell it. Once you crack it open, there's ways to test it too. Like when you first snap open ginger, it'll be super yellow. And you smell it, it smells fresh, that's clean. Now if you pop it and it's a little brown and a little tad yellow, it's medium. So that means it's not at the freshest. So it's okay if you go to the store because they got pieces of it and you might feel guilty, but fuck it, right? If you get the right one, you're gonna buy it. I would just go to the store and look around. I'd crack that shit right there. Boom. Okay, it's yellow. I'm buying this. I'll put it in the bag because it's pretty fucking pricey. It's like 2 or 3 something a pound, and those things kind of weigh even just on its own. But I would just pack it up. You know, like I loved when I was juicing it. So when I went on my run this morning, like I said, I did on my app phone. Okay, every time I would do a specific run, I go to the back area from the desert all the way through. I hit I think it's like the Needles Highway. I cross over, I hit the other dirt, I go all the way around and then back, and then I cross on the other end, which is coming down like Bruce Woodbury, all the way back. Now, that calculation by exact will be 4.32 miles or 4.34 miles, right? And that's a lot. There's people that can't even, like, if I were to take someone on a run or a jog, and we're coming out of the parking structure, like out of the parking lot through the actual apartments, they'd probably be like, wait, hold on a jog, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I know the feeling. Like lately, like when I'm running out and I'm jogging, my body's like, it's hurting, right? But I notice the more I keep going and the more I keep pursuing and I push further, my body starts to warm up. It's really weird. Like my body will warm up, the muscle will strengthen up, and it's firm. And then I'm like, and then I'm just getting it. It's kind of like a horse, you know, like when they train the horses every day and they run and run and gallop, they're conditioned that way. So I'm just getting my conditioning back up. For instance, I weighed myself earlier before I went on the second run, and I was at 120 something pounds. Or 120 point something pounds, so like kilometers there. I don't like being at that weight, to be really, really honest, unless I'm real built in muscle. But what I really want to do, I want to get the skin super tight. I want to get all this super tight, and I did have it at one point, but right now, all this shit right here, like this extra shit, I mean, to you guys, it's probably like nothing, you know, I mean, versus someone that's big. But for me, I don't like being at that weight. I like to be exactly at 117.2, or if I can drop it good, it'd be like 116.8. All right. I know that sounds small and shit, but Bruce Lee was like, I don't know how his height was, but he was definitely taller than me, and he was only pushing like $130, and he was super ripped and really skinny. Nobody talks shit about him. You know what I mean? But for me though, give me a second. Hey. I'm tired of you messing around. Leave it alone. Leave the fucking door alone. Here. Just do your thing, Mama. I know I sound kind of hard on her, but sometimes she does things where it's like, it's not even necessary. So sometimes I gotta be firm on her and strong. But I do give her a lot of love. I scratch her and she gets like, you know, happy, and she'll wag her tail, she'll scratch, you know. I give her snacks, I feed her, I take her for runs, I take her to the park, I let her introduce herself to people. Sometimes I gotta restrain her because she doesn't know any better. Like sometimes she like worries the crap out of me. Like she'll run to her car. Like, why are you running to a car? It's gonna hit you. Like, and it makes me mad, dude, because like if I'm not around, she's seriously gonna get injured, or you know, she might run up to somebody that, like the last time, like I said in one of my other videos, if anybody was paying attention, she got bit by another dog. She's lucky she wasn't bleeding or anything like that, but she still doesn't learn her lesson. So like I said, she's stubborn in a lot of ways, but once she hits a year, she'll be good. But yeah, sometimes I have to be really stern and firm on her, and then I gotta show her love. So I gotta be a daddy and then a mommy at the same time. Dads will be pretty mean, but then they gotta be understanding. So there's some things I have to try to understand too when I get frustrated, but then some things I have to just, you know, whatever. You know, it's life. I don't have to explain all that. But what was I getting at? So, okay, so about my weight and all that stuff. But, so I'm going to try different methods. And the reason why I feel personally like I'm on that weight, right, is because the other night I had a lot of salt, like a lot of salty stuff. And when I was drinking a lot of water, because I was trying to like do like a semi-fast or whatever, and then I was having food, but it had too much salt. So what had happened was that my system was kind of clogged or doing whatever, and it holds a lot of water when you have all that salt. So you look fat, you're bloated a little bit, but I ended up doing the 4-mile run. I relaxed a little bit when I got back, and then I went into, I was in the restroom and I did like a steam. It's like a sauna thing. I closed the door, I put a towel under the door, and I use these steamers and I steam the fuck out and, you know, get super hot, sweaty and all that stuff. So I did that for like maybe half hour. But that was when I got back from the park, and we went to the park and stuff like that. I played with my dog, and then I went to Family Dollar, and then I bought some dog food, and my mom was taking me here, and then I had to go pick up a letter and stuff like that. So I had a pretty busy day. I feel pretty wide awake. It's only 6:18 right now, but like I said, I got up at 6:02. I think I went to bed maybe around roughly, I want to say 11:40 something. So, like, I've been trying to readjust to being up early, getting up early, doing what I need to do, staying motivated. Yeah, so then I went on another run after a while. So I pretty much did 8.69 miles, if I'm correct, because I don't have the app, but the app would always tell me the same mileage, the same routine I usually do would always put me at, like I said, 4.32 miles. So I'm trying to, because I did go a little extra in the beginning. I went extra around the apartment complex, which I know will accumulate some footage. So I want to say 8.69 miles altogether today. Plus I was working out last night, and then I was just pumping iron a little bit right now in the other room. And so, like, when I went to weigh myself, I was at 119 point something, so I lost a pound. But like I said, there's something going on in here. But also too, like when you work out and you go hard, and your body's not up on the up and up, you won't drop the weight right away. Because before, when I would go for a run, I would hop on the scale and boom, I was already at like 117.8. You know, and then if I did a little extra something, it was like 117.2. So my weight would fluctuate in between there. But since whatever I had was just like, it probably just clogged up my system. But then also too, you have to consider, if you rest, like if you do a hardcore workout in the beginning and then you take a nap, your shit will like for me, that's what it'll do. So tomorrow morning, I'll be probably at like 117.2, maybe if I get lucky, because I'm going to do some more workouts. I can hit at least like 116.4, something like that. But because all I'm really gonna do is like I might have a light salad. I'm not really sure if I want to or not. I might have just like a little chicken leg. I had boiled these chickens yesterday for my dog, and then I mix up some of the dog food. So they're just like little legs. They look all white and shitty and funny, but it's because it's just from yesterday. I didn't season it or anything. But I could definitely just warm up a leg and just kind of like eat that, and then probably just have some seeds, you know, something like not too salty, because a lot of the other stuff that I had was like soup or salty. That's probably why. But anyways, here's this bowl, right? So let me face you this way real quick. I have a cutting board, and I got 2 bowls right here. So basically, when I do the blender, and a lot of pulp will come out, I'll put it in here, and I'll go like that with my fingers and strain it out. And then once it's strained out, I'll clean it over here, so that way this is cleared out. Put it right here, and then I'll pour it in here. So I'll just show you that. For some reason, this one's just really dark, probably because I always started off with that particular one, and whatever's coming out of the fruit that's like maybe bad, it catches on the plastic. But this one that's always being used, it doesn't have it. It's very clear. So it might be a good thing that this plastic soaks up the negative effects, but then I get the clean juice. So I'm going to show you real quick. Okay, so right here is the Ninja blender, and this is how I lock it, right? Because I could take it off, I could put it down right here and lock it up. Now, if you can see, it's at maybe, I want to say 20. That's 16 and 20 ounces, 24 ounces, 32 ounces, 40, 80, and you get the picture. You got 64 ounces. So right now it's at 20, maybe almost at a slightly 21. I just poured the water in here. And normally you want to pour the water like that. Or at least right here to right here. Because when you're going to be doing the fruit, you're going to be getting a lot of, you know, a lot of pulpy shit, right? Always put a little bit of water. Because when it spins, it wants to catch. You know, it has to catch the fruit. Now, if it's just sitting there, it's going to grind and it's going to be all weird. It's better just to catch all the fruit. So anyways, I'll get started on this real quick so you can see what it's really about. Anyways, oh yeah, this is my shirt. I got it at Walmart. It's pretty sick. And I cut it. So that way, you know, so when I work out, you know, because when I do get like really fucking like ripped and cut and buff and shit like that, like right now, I'm not really on the up and up with this right here. I mean, my back is like real fucking ripped, but I don't really want to be showing any of this. But in a few days, when I start really getting fucking ripped, I'll show you. I'll send you a video. You can see what I'm working with. You know what I mean? I really want to sicken it up. But right now, I'm not really feeling it. So let me face this over here, so that way you get a good picture of how I do the fruit. I usually come over here, pull my trash can right here. So this is how I set it up right here. I put the trash can here. This is actually ready to go. So I'll just put that right there. That's the Ninja Blade blender. You can get it at Walmart for, I think it was like $89.99. It might actually be a little bit more. But as of right now, let's get this going. So that way you can see what I got going here. Okay, so basically, let's see, I'll take this top off right here. So I'm going to do the green apple first. Alright. So I usually do this. Turn it. Right there. Right there. And then right here. So that way the core is all cut out. Right? The core is just right here. Probably cut this up a little. And let me angle the camera down a little bit so you get the whole jizz of that. Jizz. Drop that in there. And just kind of, you know, just to, that way, that way it's a little broken up. So it's easier to blend. And I don't give a fuck if I dropped it on the floor, I can just rinse it. You guys might be like, yeah, you're gonna get germs, you're gonna die. That's just pussy shit, man. If you ever watched the Arnold interview back in the day, that fool, he would tell the cooks, hey, if you can, when you're gonna cook my steak, when you're gonna make my steak, throw it on the fucking floor for a few seconds to let it slide around and then cook it. Because he was building an immunity. So you gotta think about it. All the little pussy shit that they have us do nowadays, or even like when you see commercials that are like, oh, look at this plate, we grilled this and did that. Back then, we didn't do any of that shit. You know what I mean? If we had a bow and arrow, bam, we hit a rabbit, cut that motherfucker open, you know, probably slide his head and then stick it on a skewer and just burn it. And then once it got dark enough where you're like, okay, I can eat this, that was it. That was dinner, you know what I mean? Not all the time. I think that was only like for survival, because I'm sure like people were more cultivated back then and they didn't really like killing animals. But on a necessary base, if they're in the wilderness and they're like, fuck, and they're starving, they had to do something, you know what I mean? Because there's different seasons. So like, I'm sure they grew their own fruit, you know, or they had fruit. There was fruit available in the jungle. I'm sure that, you know, they had vegetables and stuff like that, or they learned to plant and certain things like that. That's just how I feel personally. I don't know about everybody else, but like I said, you got to learn to let go of the concepts of what they teach you nowadays. And I'm not afraid to speak up versus everyone else on YouTube that are like, oh, okay, well, whatever the fuck. You're either going to live or you're going to die. So, anyways, that's the green apples. So what I do, if you can see, right, on the ends of the orange, you just want to cut off a little bit like that. A little bit right there. Move that over. And now I'm going to peel it, right? So slice it real slicey. If you work for a restaurant, this is going to be very easy for you. If it's your first time, just take your time with it. Be careful with your fucking fingers, because your fingers can slip, because this is kind of juicy and it doesn't have no grip versus this. So just be careful. Make sure you hit it like that and boom. You got the whole orange. Even if you have a little bit of skin there, just a tad. It's fine. It's not gonna fucking kill you. You know what I mean? It's fucking fruit. So I'm gonna do it again over here. I just move these pieces to the side, right over here. All right. So I'm gonna spit my gum out. I'm gonna show you in a minute, but I'm gonna skin this off. Skin that. Skin that. Skin that. Skin that. Open that up. Throw that in there. So now, the fun part is when you're doing this preparation, and like let's say you did go for a run or you worked out, and you're like, oh man, I'm fucking thirsty. You don't want to go for soda. You don't want to go for certain things. You kind of want to get to it. But see, this still has juice, right? This still has some meat on it. A little something kind of hold you over. That's what I do personally, because this is for me. This ain't for anybody. You know what I mean? And I just kind of like suck the juice out. Sometimes I'll peel the meat out of there. This is actually real meat that was known in the Bible, but they switched shit around. This was what they were talking about. Because biologically, this is how we're actually supposed to eat. But we've been taught differently. Like I said in the last video, animals that eat, like live animals, and I said that the gut lining is about 12 feet long. I didn't explain that all the way. But see, their actual gut lining, it's very acidic. So when they eat the meat, once it drops in there, they have more acid than we do. It's like, but they soak it up and they're like, right? Because they're animals. Us biologically, this type of stuff, or like vegetables and certain, I mean, nowadays it's hard to get good shit because they spray stuff, you know, and chemicals and stuff like that. But if you, like I said, if you want to do clean lifestyle, I would just do rice, lettuce, fruit. Fruit's the best. Like, I mean, grapes, you could do grapes, you know, grapes are kind of sprayed a little too or whatever, but like there's different methods you could do. You could put your fruit in a sink, right? Clog up the sink with something like this, you know, close up your sink, put some warm water, and then just add baking soda. Let it sit for 15-20 minutes. All the fucking bad chemical shit, pretty much like a good 75% of it will come off the fruit and you can eat it. I mean, it's safer. You know what I mean? You ain't got to deal with a lot of things. But like I said, the animals are meant for that. We don't have a lot of acidity like that. We're built actually for fruits, vegetables, rice, and beans. And if you look into like the old school gladiators, like when they used to fight, they actually ate like a vegetarian diet. But it's hard to come to that because if you've been growing up like, oh yeah, here you go, Del Taco baby, and McDonald's, and you know, chicken, and don't get me wrong, I fucking love chicken. Come here, little chicken, you know. I fucking love chicken, dude. I love chicken nuggets. I love, you know what I mean? But I try not to have it all the time. Eventually, I'm just going to fully aim for this. It's been real hard. Like, you know, I've been on it before, the whole fruit thing. But it's really good. So even these extra pieces, what I'll do is just put it up here and I'll squeeze the pieces in there. Like squeeze it in and it gets extra juice. I'm not trying to waste it, you know. I'll just squeeze it in there. And every little bit makes a difference. Even if it's just so much, you know what I mean? Like, I'll show you because I don't want to have to turn the camera and all that. But, you know, it does make a difference. You know, if you're just adding, because I mean, you're just trying to add more to your stomach to make it fairly more healthy. And eventually, like, if I stick with it without, like, no interruptions with other chemicals that, you know, something was going on with me or whatever, or I had too much sugar and stuff like that. So, see, like, even that amount, it's still good. I mean, I didn't use the other ones yet, but you get my drift. Now, I'm working with 4 lemons, all right? And I'll try to remove these stupid little stickers, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be cutting it. Because one time I was cutting it and I caught a sticker by accident. But I didn't swallow it or drink it. It didn't go in there. I found it and I was like, oh, okay. All right, the video's at 30 minutes. It's kind of long. Sorry about that, you guys. But that's just me trying to explain everything. Like, real good, long knowledge. It actually, like, it takes a little minute. You know what I mean? Like, everything that I've learned, it's not going to get explained in about fucking 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Especially if you're trying to uncondition yourself from the Western culture stuff that they teach you versus the real truth of what I'm telling you. And, you know, it wouldn't hurt to give it a shot, because honestly, this shit's like super fucking healthy for you. I don't know why you would turn away from it. Like, you know, if you feel sick, and like I was going to say too, on my last video, I couldn't think of the actual word for like the disease or whatever when I was saying, like, when you eat a lot of dry shit, it can fuck you up, you know, and it's called gout. So if you get gout, it's because you're really dry, and it starts to build like, how do you say, like bad acid, like when you get acid reflux and shit like that, you know, and it's because you don't have enough alkaline, which means like you're hydrated a lot, you're cleaning out, you know what I mean? Because you do have to clean out a lot, and like I was saying too, I didn't even add like lemons. It'll clean your kidneys, it'll clean your liver, it cleans, like if it's going to clean the blood, it's going to clean a lot of other things, you know? Like the vitamin C, that helps you with your immune system, and your immune system needs to be sped up. So when you add in lemons and oranges, it becomes a powerhouse shot. And especially like if you do ginger. And then another thing, if you're not trying to really go to the doctors and you got some kind of like, I don't know, like let's just say, for instance, like maybe you were doing something, you know, sexual or whatever, you know what I mean? And if it's not sexual, like let's say if you get a cut, right? And you're like, you can't go to the doctors, but it's getting kind of bad, and you're trying to close it up on your own. Now, doctors morally supposed to, like, no matter what it is, whether it's an infection or a sexual infection, or if you got an infection in your eye, you know what I mean? Always do lemons, like, or lemon water, or even do like what I'm doing is lemon juicing and all that stuff. So any type of infection, you can go to the store, it's very fucking cheap, and get garlic, right? Like an actual pack, like a whole garlic. Well, when you open it up and you peel it, there's like one little clove. Nobody likes to eat garlic or cut it up. It smells, you know, and yeah. Okay, but if it's just a clove, like one clove, be a fucking gangster, you know what I mean? Throw that shit in your mouth like a pill, and just pound some water. Even if you got to hit some Gatorade or fucking some soda, you know what I mean? Just drink it down, swallow it down, or cut it in half and just fucking throw it in your mouth like 2 pills and drink it down. Now, garlic works as an actual antibiotic. But like I said, don't take it too much or too often, because everything has to have a balance, because it can hurt your kidneys. It can hurt your shit back here, right? And also too, I learned that study from another study that had to do, I think it was like France or Italy, one of the wars, right? Way back then when they had those like old school rifles where they were like, right? Like that old school shit from the 1890s or 70s. And they weren't really good marksmen. So like, of course, back then when they had like those duffel bags, like when they would carry like potatoes, and they probably had like a lot of garlic, right? If that shit went rotten, like the garlic, like real garlic, like old school garlic, you could squeeze it, right? Because it's so like rotten, and the juice would come out. So this is one thing that people didn't know about, like today, that I read about. Well, the guys, they weren't good marksmen, so they wouldn't be able to hit them like, oh, dead shot right in the fucking head or the heart or whatever, right? They knew they weren't good marksmen, but they wanted to win that war. So what they did was they squeezed that fucking garlic over the bullets, like all their bullets, right? So like, let's say they clipped a nigga, like bam, and they hit him in his arm. More likely he was gonna die, because now he's got poison. Because garlic can be very poisonous too. So always have it fresh. Like I said, take one little garlic clove. It works just like an antibiotic. Because like doctors, when you go to a doctor's, they usually prescribe you antibiotics, especially if you have an infection. Now, if they're not prescribing you an antibiotic off the bat, then it's because they're trying to rotate you. They're trying to figure out like how fucking stupid you are. Sometimes they'll send you to another clinic because they want to use you as a guinea pig, or they're coming out with a different type of drug, or they want to clip your shit. Like they want to cut you out or cut you open. They want to do all this shit that's unnecessary. So like I said, those are the methods and things that I've learned over time. And you know, you could definitely do it. Like any type of cancer or any kind of disease you might have, or any kind of infection, you can cure it. Like even like, okay, like if the back of your teeth stink, right? Like because you've been on a smoking binge or drinking binge, or maybe you were doing crack. I don't know what the fuck you're into, but when you go to floss, rinse your mouth out with hot water, right? And then brush your teeth, do some baking soda, and then after that, floss again, right? And then what you could do is after you floss, this is what I would do. Now, you got to remember, too, lemon is an acid, right? They say don't eat lemon, it's going to eat away at your enamel. You have to think about it. After all the years that you're over there brushing your teeth with fucking fluoride that's actually destroying your shit, lemon will take off the acid, but it'll also get into the gums, even when you're bleeding, and it's going to eat away at the infection. It's going to eat away at whatever's rotting your fucking mouth and all that shit. And trust me, I was doing that for a good ass minute. My teeth were fucking wide as fuck. I would always floss and I was not bleeding anymore. Nothing, right? So I'm still putting the things back to practice, like I said. And this video is going to send you right over the top, man. You're going to be like, holy shit, this fool has a lot of fucking knowledge. And you got to try it. But after you rinse your mouth or you spit out the lemon, always rinse your mouth out. With water, because honestly, like if it sits there too long, it's gonna take away a lot of enamel. But you only do that every now and then. Don't do it like every day. I mean, unless you know that your teeth are gotten stronger. Because like even though people are like, oh, you're gonna lose enamel, you're gonna lose enamel. Yeah, you're gonna lose it, but your body is so efficient that it's gonna re-push out enamel. Like there's like little itty bitty holes in your teeth that come from your gums to the bone marrow here and all that shit, and it pushes out the enamel. You have to really think about it. Like our whole body is so structured, like unbelievably, like you can't even fucking imagine. You got to think about it too, right? You cut your nails grow back. Where is it coming from, right? Like this shit is like solid compared to your fucking skin into your bone. Everything you eat and drink creates more structure, creates more build. It creates you more. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of the shit that I've learned. And also too, just to be clear on a lot of things, like I said, like if you're into sugar, kind of like me, little addiction, you drink a lot of Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whatever the fuck you're into. Now, sugar is man-made. It's very thick. It's very solid. You know, even when you put it in coffee, you got to stir it up into some really super hot coffee for it to break up. Now, if you're doing it all the time, and for some reason you got like a panza, you know, which means like a belly, or you got a lot of fucking lower belly fat, and you can't seem to ever get rid of it. Now, instead of like an actual, like the shit that, hold on. Now, instead of like the actual, how do you say, like, if you look at pictures, like they'll show the skeleton and the muscle, and then they'll show the skeleton and the muscle and then the veins, right? You also have a lymphatic system, which means that it clears out like a lot of like waste, right? And that's what the green veins are. So like right here, I'm not going to show you all the way down, but right here, I was noticing like I can never get this flat enough, or even over here. Now, when you do a lot of sugar, there's veins here, right? And that gets clogged up, and that's part of the lymphatic system that flushes out. So if you're not like, there's some other people that are really thin, and it's because they're just really super healthy. They don't eat a lot, you know, and of course the body's not accumulating so much. So like they know it, their whole body is just perfect. right? They got good hair, their fucking gut lining's real wild, and it's because they don't overconsume, they don't overconsumption. Now, if I would have had not did what I did years ago, I would have still had a full set of hair. Like, people don't understand that. Like, as soon as I correct the gut, like I said, as soon as I clear it up and it tightens back up and it closes up, then when it's not so focused here on the healing process to keep me alive, all my pigmentation will come back. Like, trust me, it don't make sense now, but there's a video on the vegetable police kid that actually had alopecia. Everything was gone, fucking whatever. He fixed his gut lining and boom, like he healed himself. He was really sick at like 22, 24 years old, somewhere around there. There's a guy named Eric Sanchez. You can look him up on the internet. Eric Sanchez, detox specialist. He was like 22 at the time. He was really, really sick. He had alopecia. He was dying. But now, like, it led him on a journey to know about the fruit, the vegetables, and all that shit. He can cure you. He's got so many different types of methods. I think it's like Raw Living. I forget his channel. But like I said, right here, I was noticing, excuse the pudge right here, but I was noticing over time when I started really clearing out, this piece was really starting to flow right here, and this started to flatten up, and I can never get this flat enough, you know. And that's when I figured it's sugar based. Like, there's a clog there, you know what I mean? And it's mainly like I've had enough experience over the years to where I got all this info, I got all this information, you know what I mean? And yeah, I haven't been able to successfully like go to my full completion. But the more I keep doing it, I'm gonna get it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I'm done here with the board, and I'll face it this way for you guys to see. All right, so plug this in. You can see where it's at, right? Move it here. Turn it on. Throw it up. Now that, I just end up stopping it and throw it here. Put it on high. Alright, so you're probably wondering, well, what's the point of that, right? Okay, well, it's actually at 40, let's see, almost 45, I want to say right here. Almost at 45 ounces, which is good because if I squeeze it correctly, then this cup here, like I said, this cup goes up to 30 to 33, and at the top it's 34 ounces. So I might be able to get it to right here and then have some left over, and I could put it into a small cup. And usually, like, I'll put some ice and I'll stick that bad boy in the freezer to get really, really cold. Excuse that. And then I'll put some ice in here, and I'll fill this cup up, and then I'll drink some of that. So that's basically what I do. And then I'll just show you the quick little method, because this video's gone pretty damn long. I don't know if people really like to watch long videos, but yeah. So I'll just throw this up real quick. Finger I have a cut on my finger, so this is gonna probably hurt, but it's all right. So I'm gonna turn that off, unplug this. And I'll show you how I get down with this thing. So I'll face it this way, pour it in. See how it drops all the way through, and then some of the pulp will pick up a little bit. So I don't want to overfill that, right? And I'll just do this, like I said. I'll just go around, and you can see it coming out. You see that? And yeah, you have to get your hands dirty, but it's all good. Look at how much juice I already got. And this thing I believe holds about, let me see. It says 1.25 liters, so about 5 cups. That's not bad, dude. I only used a little bit of fruit. Before, like, because right now I'm trying to work on a budget. But before, when I was using a lot of fruit, that shit was up to like 64 ounces. You know what I mean? So I had to do double of this shit. Especially with grapes. Grapes was really good. Like, you could do green grapes with lemon and ginger. You could do, I want to recommend you do actual dark purple grapes with maybe like 4 or 5 lemons and like a half a ginger. Oh my god, dude, it tastes just like fucking the kid told me. The the Eric Sanchez kid, it does taste like Jolly Rancher. But it's just, but it's actually legitly, 100% fucking healthy for you. You just take a Jolly Rancher and you keep eating Jolly Ranchers and shit like that, it's just going to give you diabetes, you know what I mean? Over time, within the course of bad stuff, yes, it will get you sick. It will do something. But like I said, with this stuff, you can't go wrong, dude. Because, I mean, especially if it's biologically, like, chemically based, like, I mean, it's natural from the fucking earth. God made it. It's for your body. So, anyways, I'll do that. And like I said, I'll come over here, see if you can see that, and I'll turn it upside down this way and just kind of rub it like that real quick to get the pulp out, so that way it'll run more efficiently. You know what I'm saying? So it runs more efficiently. And then this will probably be the last draw of it, but that's fine because it's already almost up to like 5 cups. I'll kind of beat this motherfucker a little bit. Excuse my language. I'll kind of beat that up. And clean this. 46 minutes. I hope some of you guys, do take the time to watch this video and stuff like that, just because it's very educational. It will help you in the long run. 40 seconds or 40 something minutes, maybe 50 minutes of your time will save you a lifetime of pain. That's just how I look at it, man. You know what I mean? This is something that they're not going to tell you out there, how to take care of yourself and how to legitly make yourself healthy. So there's some leftover in here. So I usually just kind of scoop that out. And now I can clean this. I like to clean as I go so I don't got to worry about shit later. So forgive me for a second. But it'll be worth it to show you how much I'm really being real about it, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm an honest person. I humble myself to a lot of struggles, and I've struggled a lot. And like I said, I don't like other individuals to struggle. Sometimes I can bullshit. Don't get me wrong, I bullshit a little bit, pardon. Or like I could be a little bit hypocritical, you know what I mean? But like I said, nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? So, is that, what's that? Oh, is that my muscle? Is that my muscle right there? So, yeah, man, so I just want people to be happy and learn to come to their full potential. And you'll be surprised, man, at how much I know, you know what I mean? I know actually more than just the health aspect. I know about energy bases. I know about actually honing in and tuning in on individuals and learning a lot. And women, I know women very well. Sometimes I can tell when they're lying, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a lot of methods, a lot of teachings into things. But to be honest, I can read people so well that they're like, oh, I don't want to talk to this fool because he's fucking reading me too good, you know what I mean? But see, that's the fucking fucked up thing. Like, if you have an agenda and, like, let's say 75% of you are, like, not wanting to talk to me because I read you too fucking well, man, you got a lot of problems, you know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to hide, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to, like, have any bad intentions. But like I said, I'm not perfect. Sometimes, I'll do a little bit of bad, you know what I mean? But it's not like, I don't do no murder, I don't do no, you know what I mean? I'm not a bad individual like that. Like, everybody has their little thing, you know what I mean? But to try to, like, come to change, hey, why not? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, this is pretty much almost done. Sometimes if you want to get lazy, you don't want to hold it. That's what these are for right here on the end and this handle. And you can kind of squeeze down. But if it's getting too high, it kind of soaks back into the top. So, yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot over time just by, I worked at a lot of restaurants and, prepping and cooking and, bartending and, just everything, warehousing. I remember all my jobs. I remember everything it ever taught me. Even if I were to go back to any one of those jobs, I would still remember. It would just click. It's like riding a bike or getting into a car and driving again, you know what I mean? So, I don't ever forget. So, alright, that's that there. So I clean that, And this is what makes it more pure, okay? Because you're going to get some excess type of stuff at the top there. Don't really know what that is, but it's just probably some extra chemical that you don't need. I'll rinse that out again. But of course, the bowl that I emptied out, I'll re-rinse that. So there's no, I want to make sure you start off clean again. Right there. Alright. Nice and fucking sleek and clean. And just to, even though that's pretty damn clean, just to add it down again, I like to do it to where it's like super pure, you know? And I've been doing it for a long time. Before I didn't have the patience for this shit, but I've developed it over time. So now that's done. Put my trash can over here, put it back, throw this up here. There's no really need to like really hardcore wash it just because it's liquid, you know? It's just liquid. It's already rinsed off. It doesn't stick. It's not dairy. It's not products that stick all hardcore. So that's already there. So let's see what it fills up to. Not bad. I want to say about 30. All right. So now I'm going to get this cup. Get my ice real quick, so excuse me for a second. Alright. Hey baby, what are you doing now? You want a piece of ice? When she hears the ice, just show you real quick. When she hears the ice, she's like, she comes in, that's why I forget.